What's up everybody? Thought I'd take a few minutes just to quickly show you guys the differences and key features between the three skis that we produce for racing and more performance riding from Fast Powersports. So obviously originally we always had the GP1R. It had a major update for 2025, and that obviously showed on the track, especially at the World Finals. That hull was the most dominant aftermarket hull at the event, winning more world championships than all the other hulls from any brand combined. So a huge success for the GP1R, and showing that the progression of that boat pays off on the racetrack. We have the F1, which we released last year, a little bit of a bigger boat, biggest engine compartment, and we'll run through the pluses and minuses of a bigger boat and kind of pinpoint what to expect with that model. And then obviously the new boat, this is going to be our Fast Powersports F16, and this is geared up to be the most aggressive race boat that we produced. So it has the same kind of design DNA of the GP1R, but just taken a step further. So the turning is sharper, more aggressive. The hookup through the water is more aggressive. The whole weight bias of the boat is different. The stiffness of the boat is different. And what that translates to is a very direct feeling ski with very sharp handling characteristics. So in the past, with like the GP1R, especially, I can tell you from my experience when I was racing them, you know, to go faster, we just needed sharper turning, more hookup, more drive out the corners, and that's what we achieved with the F16. So the 2025 GP1R has been updated right from the ride plate right through to the nose. So obviously the most noticeable thing that you can see is the new nose and wings, with the IJSBA changing the criteria for the dimensional size. We obviously had to change that, and we gained performance by doing it. So the new nose and wings helped the boat as far as sharper turning. It made the boat feel more nimble, gave it a little bit more grip, and actually helped the boat in the tighter turns. So improvement with the new nose and wings, but the whole boat has been upgraded. This is actually a completely new mold, top deck and bottom, from the 2024. So everything has been refined. Different materials are used in the boat. A lot of Kevlar is used. There's completely different weight bias in the boat, and these improvements all make a difference to the feel and the performance when you're out on the racetrack. So for this past year's 2024 World Finals, the GP1R, the 2025 GP1R won more World Championships than every other hull combined at the World Finals. So it shows that there was a massive upgrade to the 25, and it showed all the way from Master Ski GP, Amateur Ski GP, Amateur Ski Modified, and Pro Ski. So all of those World Championships were won on the 25 model. And this exact boat here was used in multiple different races and events, and it got 2 World Championships. So Yanni Hamlin won Amateur Ski GP as well as Amateur Ski Mod on this boat. And this boat has a completely stock engine. All it has is a Solus pump, a good impeller, and a map tuner tune from Riva Racing. So it shows you that with the right hull and the right setup, that is the package that you are still able to go win expert and amateur racing and have the reliability, and not something that you have to work on a whole bunch. But definitely when you go to pro racing and you wanting to race the best in the world, you need the big engines, the big pumps, and every advantage that you can get. But this hull is still what dominated Pro Ski. It won every single moto of Pro Ski at the World Final. So proven package, it's won for the last 7 years, keeps getting better, and just an amazing machine, and is the most well-priced hull out of all three that we developed. For the F1, this is our biggest ski that we build. It's got the most volume, the biggest engine bay, biggest tray, most front end buoyancy. So when you're in the rough water, doesn't want to sub, gives you a lot of stability, and is actually the fastest top speed and accelerating hull that we produce. So for the guys that are chasing top speed, this is going to be pretty amazing. It sweeps really well. I would probably say the downfall of this boat at the moment is in the tight corners. It just loses out to the GP1R and the F16 in the tight turns. But we are working on that. It's improving all the time. We've got a lot of bolt-on parts that improve this boat, and we will keep improving it into the future to narrow that gap in the tighter corners. But a lot of advantages to it, being obviously the size, the stability, the user-friendliness, and it's a great boat to own, easy to work on, very comfortable to ride, and it's a great ski for all conditions. So a little bit more in depth look at the F16. With this being an all new ski, the bottom is sharpened up. It is the same kind of feel as a GP1, just more aggressive, more hookup. And then when you come to the top deck, new nose, new wing, all of this section of the boat is all part of the top deck. The wing and nose is just the skirt that goes around it. So what that helps us with is running, like for instance, the lights, these go directly into the deck. So not having to go through a nose cowling that runs right over the top of the boat like this. Because whenever you run lights through here, you always got to make sure that you're sealing really well in there, or you will get water through where those cables go. So with the new F16, none of those issues. We really cleaned up around the pole area. So you got a nice cowling that goes in place here, hides all your bracketry, and obviously cleans up the whole boat. We've got new hood vents, so you're pulling air from here, you're pulling air from here, you're exhausting and pulling air from here. So those are obviously getting a lot more air into the boat. And then the hood itself. So the hood itself is just a cap hood. So what that does is brings the CG, the center of gravity, way down on this boat, adds a lot of stiffness to the sides of the hull, so the boat does not flex in the turns, gives you a much more direct feel. So with the new hood also, you can see the engine bay is much bigger on this boat. You can access everything. It's got a different hood seal system. And this new system that we've come up with on this model, as well as the F1, the engine bay stays super dry. So you don't have the problem of all the water going in and the boat's misfiring. With these boats, they're super dry, and yeah, you just don't have any of those issues. Then when you go to the tray of the boat, really nice tray area. So you've got your kickers. You can do ergo style kickers if you choose, or the straight kicker. You've got the box in the front, so you can wedge your foot in to give you that grip in the turns. And you've got a much more spacious tray, rolled sides, as well obviously as a nice big dash, so if you hit your knees, got a lot of protection. But yeah, tray is really comfortable and user-friendly on the F16. So yeah, these are the three models. So just to recap, GP1R, improved version of what we all love. It is definitely very noticeable when you ride the 2025 model over the previous model. It is definitely more refined. All the boats nowadays are built with Kevlar in the hulls. The total construction is totally different. Materials, you name it, everything has been upgraded through them and will continue to be upgraded. So we never really stop with the development. That's what we're well known for. Obviously, that's why we race. That's why the top riders in the world ride our product. We are quick to react to improvements or anything that we learn on the racetrack very quickly goes into our product. And that's one of the benefits of owning our own factory. We have our own factory. All it does is build hulls for us, and we control the complete process from start to finish, from design, from the CAD work to the CNC molds, all done directly at our factory. And when we learn something at the races on a Sunday, on the Monday morning, those advantages or what we learn those improvements can be passed on to the production line instantly. So there's no time getting wasted, and there's no third parties building our product. We do it all in-house. We control the whole process, and gives us a much better product and a massive advantage when it comes to the speed that we can adapt to any advantage that we learn on the racetrack. So yeah, GP1R, same great boat as always, just with all the upgrades. Also Kevlar in the hull. Kevlar used extensively right throughout this boat nowadays, but it also is the most well-priced boat in our range. Then F1, the biggest boat, very forgiving in rough water, biggest engine bay, biggest tray, for the more wide open tracks or more wide open riding. You're probably going to love this boat. And then new F16, most aggressive boat that we produce. This is what we kind of aim as to be our hardest, most hardcore race boat, but time will tell, and that's why we have a range of skis. So for us, a big thing of what we wanted to do here at Foss Powersports, which is different to any other brand, is we don't make just one model. We're not here to try and force you into buying one model of boat. We provide a range so you can buy the model that suits you best. We're obviously always available. I'm always available to answer any questions, and I can explain the pros and cons of each one of these models and make sure that you get set up with the hull that's going to suit you best. Just like surfing, you go into a surf shop, not every surfer surfs the same surfboard. You get different sizes, different styles, and there's different surfboards for different waves. Same as mountain biking. You get downhill by mountain bikes, cross country, road bicycles. There's always a range. And for us, we really wanted to kind of lean more in that direction and have a boat that's designed for you instead of you having to always adapt to one single product. And then also what that does for us is we are learning between all these different models all of the time, and we're able to pass on all the best features of each boat. We can take those and keep adapting and progressing and pushing our whole range forward. And just the amount of development we do is insane because of having all of these different boats to learn so many different things with all different kinds of riders. So hope this helps. We're going to do a lot more videos on all the boats individually, but just as a quick overview, kind of gives you a zoomed out view of all three boats and kind of get you going in the right direction with what will suit you best. Hope to see you guys on the water, and good times.